Hi there, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield, and welcome to Last Man Standing. This is the official after show for Stupid O'Clock, and we are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Where, let me see if I can get this up here right about now. There we go. Now, if you look at the schedule, you will see that every night of the week and during the daytime as well, there is something for everybody. There is something to cater to almost every interest that you could possibly have. There is a show dedicated to it with some fascinating people with awesome things to say. And they would just absolutely love it if you would tune in and give them a chance and become fans eventually. I promise you, if you do tune in to one of these shows, you will absolutely love it and you will become a fan. You have no choice whatsoever. They are that good. And we have an all-star cast tonight. Let me go here and add in the awesome Nick Talkert, the amazing Brian K. Morris, the astounding oh, you mothers. And we got Josh too. So here we go.
We got Josh. Wow. How did I not end up the stink pot guy? Well done, Josh. Thanks for taking the. Usually I'm the one that takes the pot. This is.
Yeah, all you have to do is make me laugh while I'm trying to talk. Good Lord. Josh gives wonderful weather reports for the Southeast. Bill is just this amazing guy that can tell you all about Saturday morning cartoons and just everything that you would love. And he also does some sideline in auctions and can tell you where you can get great deals. Brian K. Morris, you are not
I occasionally draw too.
Oh yes, well,
not lately, but been so busy with everything else.
It do say the artwork of Bill Sarton, so we are well informed here. Oh wait a minute, let me go back to the comments in case somebody is making a from the peanut gallery here. Brian, thank you for gracing our lovely screen.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for the kind words about the network.
Hey,
I'm proud as heck of the network, you included.
Well, that's my job. I gotta update the schedule, and believe me, I've got to do a new one so that Drinking with the Davies is now on every Friday night instead of when we feel like it Friday night.
Yeah, and then we've got John Silvestri, the animator, starting a show soon. I think this week. Dr. John, the original gangster.
Oh,
and then I've got my daily show, BK Minutes,
which that is a found of education. Like, not even kidding. That is so good. I send that like as a playlist to people. I'm not kidding. I literally just watch these because I know a lot of people who are trying to get into the self-publishing stuff. And
yep, I'm going to have to include the BK Minutes right up under the mention for Michaela Jade's morning motivations, just because I will. I know you will enjoy the view.
Yeah.
At least we're consistent here, folks. I mean, you know what you're going to get. What you see is what you get. And what you see is 5 old white guys making inappropriate humor late at night. And,
this is why they call it the after show.
Yeah. I started it.
Yeah.
Hey. What I love how farther the shirt gets farther unbuttoned, and the bow tie goes up farther with the as the show. Oh my!
I'm waiting for the bow tie to spin around in circles.
Believe me, at 2 a.m. the bow tie becomes
okay.
So he spins you right round, Bill. Right round. Anyway.
Yes.
Go to bed soon.
2, 3, 4.
Hi, Pops.
I'm just waiting for somebody to make a reference to. Oh, believe me, I'm glad that aphasia swallowed that one, and I can't remember what it was. I was gonna reference because it was going to be naughty. I'm sorry, but
Not you.
Out of
No.
Asia, I've got it pretty bad too. And
take
especially when I
the
get
word for
tired.
the deed, and we're doing really well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we've actually got 3 people watching. This is a record. Um,
And none of
You
them
go
are
to bed,
downvoting
Pop
you?
Steely.
Good God.
I see you there.
oh, Pops,
Hi, Pop.
go to bed. Yeah, right. I taught my wife how to shoot. I know better than that. I want to live long enough to go to Hallowcon. Believe me, I'm not going to
There are only 3
surprise
things in
anybody.
the universe worth being afraid of: my God, my government, and my wife, because all of them can give me a fate worse than death. But
Nothing scares Dan more than when his wife says, "Oh, just go to sleep, honey. Just go to sleep."
Yeah.
That's because she's got 5 extra pillows on the bed, and I'm only using 1.
Hey, my wife does the same.
one of them is just waiting for you to get out of line. Just once. It's the doom of Damocles. It's just fluffy.
No,
But
I'm very lucky that my wife is she will go to bed. She's in bed right now. She's asleep, thank God. And I have turned out the air light that would light up the entire hallway and directly into the bedroom. And
I have.
Well, she played the national anthem a little while ago, so I figured it was time to sign off for her.
oh, she was playing "God Save the Queen."
Oh,
so,
that's right. That's right.
yeah.
Wrong one.
well,
She-
Dan Hollifield's middle name is Roxanne. Not many people know that, and you don't need to turn on the red light. But
it's not red. It's
Yeah.
Amber.
Hey, my
Emperor
hallway,
Louise. No,
my hallway light is off too, and my wife is in bed. So.
Yep.
my wife's in bed, but my son might not be at any point. So at some point, the wonderful pull of parenthood will make me duck out of here. But
Hey,
And mine's about 6 feet away on the bed.
watching.
So.
Oh,
She's
Cookie?
just sitting there off camera sharpening a knife. Just
No,
like
she
say
just-
something.
She just does the usual thing. She's rolling her eyes so bad she can map out the bottom of her brain.
I am looking forward to meeting Cookie, and hopefully I can impress her with my imitation of humanity.
I know you will, and honestly she's looking forward to meeting the whole gang down there. She really is. She's looking forward to a good time at Hallowcon. By the way, go to
realize that Jackie
Hallowcon.com.
Coogan is not one of the gang.
Yeah,
Well, bring her something with Cookie Monster on it, and she'll be your friend for life.
There you go.
All about give an offering,
Which, by the way, I heard a story.
I have chocolates, but
yeah. Laura last night at the auction told me a story about a Cookie Monster puppet that I cannot get out of my head now. I wished I could. It's very much an appropriate story for the green room and Uncle Carl's secret humor group, but if I say it, that'll be the last you ever see of me. I will be MIA and probably buried in about 25 different places.
Hey, if it was said in the green room, leave it in the green room.
Yeah.
However, apparently people take notes when I set up a tweed room. I did not know. But
Yeah,
only Uncle Carl is immune from well,
the
no,
rules.
he's not immune either. People will take notes.
Oh, Carl don't take notes. He takes screenshots.
Right.
No, people take notes about Carl.
Yeah,
that too. It's mutually assured destruction. You have to have a file on everybody because everybody has a file on you.
I'm only afraid of mutually assured description because I can't.
Yeah.
Remember come Saturday morning, I can't remember a damn thing about Friday night if I did Friday night correctly.
Well, I was about to say I don't remember what the hell we talked about last night. So.
Well, unfortunately, I was at work last night. And
food.
God, did they get their money's worth out of me last night? Oh.
Well, we were old. We got food and women.
I remember talking about food, movies, and women.
Damn it! I always miss out on the dancing girls.
The knockoff Kets are, worth every bit of the $5 order we put in for them, and I can't be held accountable because, they may not be the best looking, a couple of them with peg legs, but gosh darn it, they try.
I know. The last time my wife ordered Chippendales, she wound up with a table.
I wound up with 2 groundhogs.
There you go.
Hey,
there it is. You beat me to it, Bill.
Now you're all set up for winter and spring.
There you go.
Man, it feels like winter around here. Jeez.
It's about 40. I think it's 40. Well, this morning it was like 45 down here.
Yep.
Probably what it was. Probably what it was over there, Dan.
Chicago had their first frost warning last night.
It was about 40 this morning when I got home, and my wife had thankfully turned the heater on in my office. And fortunately, she didn't realize that she has to turn the switch 2 more clicks in order to get the heater to actually come on. So I got home and the fan was on.
Oh, no.
I could fly a kite in here, but there was no heat.
I was sitting on the front porch with shorts on and that time.
Yeah, well.
So it is a balmy 51 degrees here right at the moment here in Cornfield County. And tomorrow it's supposed to be a heat advisory of 62 degrees. I don't know if that's before or after the flooding comes, but
yeah, we're expecting a monsoon also.
That's the oven right before you stick your head in, actually.
So, Josh, speaking of that, being that you're representative of the United Weather Network, all summer long, California has been having these really, really horrible droughts and wildfires and everything else. Now they're getting all the rain, and they're still bitching.
It's monsoonal season.
Yeah, now they're talking more mudslides, which of course that ought to be common to them by now, wouldn't you think? But
yeah, goes good with ice cubes. Yeah.
The problem is a wildfire breaks up the trees,
and it just runs. Dirt. All the water runs down. They don't do control burns. They don't do anything like that.
No.
And
it's too politically correct. They think, we're going to ruin the atmosphere and with all the smoke and everything, but the controlled burns would save them.
They should pay attention to
or do clear cut.
American ancestors that knew. You set a fire here and burn off the underbrush, and you won't get these huge fires later on. And new trees will come up to keep everything from washing away.
It's not only keeps you from having the wildfires that they do, but it is beneficial for the plants around there. All the native plants, it's beneficial for the ground. They do the controlled burns up here all the time. I know they do them across on the other side of the Wabash where Brian's at, and
we have them down here all the time.
Yeah.
We have
fire breaks. We have fire breaks. Have fire breaks and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
You also got to remember that there are plant species that do not germinate unless they've been heated by a fire. And those trees will not sprout unless there has been a recent fire. And then the seeds go, okay, time to become Superman.
Yep.
And all eyes fall on Brian K. Morris for reasons he can't disclose for the safety of his family.
Well, in the comics now, everyone knows that Clark Kent is Superman.
But yeah,
I don't know if you saw that thing going around that was it was an image of instant.
A pair of glasses is a dynamite disguise.
It really
Have
is.
you seen Zooey Deschanel or a few of these actresses where they
Hey, where'd Dan go? Who's that guy up there?
I forgot my identification.
Oh,
there
you go. Yeah. Oh, geez, God,
I
thought we lost you for a minute.
There was a screenshot of somebody was messaging Lex Luthor, and I don't remember which villain it was, but he goes, "Haven't you noticed? We found out Superman is Clark Kent." Yeah, we all know. Well, we can get him. Shut up. Wait, what? Shut up. What do you think? He gets less bulletproof in his pajamas? No. See, as long as he thinks that we don't know, he keeps working an 8-hour job, and we have at least 8 hours a day of peace to work on our. Yet,
I like that.
But to answer that question honestly, there, Bill, and not joke around with the idiots out there in California. Going into a La Nina phase, which is a cooler Pacific coast or Pacific Ocean, which will send more systems into the California coast. I think Monday they're expecting 100-mile-an-hour winds on the California coast. So good luck with them ships sitting there, 100 and whatever ships sitting off the freaking coast out there.
I think they're about to get unloaded the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah, unloaded into the sea.
Yeah,
but
somewhere in Las Vegas is going to be a cargo ship, and some guy with a forklift is going, "I don't get paid enough."
And Josh, I also heard that they're actually going to get the most amount of rainfall that they have ever gotten.
Snowfall
out of this system.
Well, they're talking about 5 foot of snowfall also. So
periodically Death Valley is a lake.
Yeah. And what kills me about that is, why don't they build more reservoirs out there to collect water?
Because it's easier to steal it from other states.
Because Nestle will just buy it all up and then sell it back to people in bottles, like they're trying to do with Lake Michigan. Sorry,
Well, they had that thing going on up there by Harvey, Illinois, where
we have a dispute here in Alabama and Georgia with
yes, exactly.
What river is that? With this one that goes towards Atlanta. Atlanta wants all the water.
It ain't the Chattahoochee though.
It's the one that's just outside of the county boundary or whatever, and they're trying, or the state boundary.
It runs basically the state line.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think the name of it.
We've also got something like that with the Tennessee River.
Yeah, the Tennessee River
going on, and Tennessee's going. You want water? We're going to build a dam.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll let some go. A little trickle.
Mm-hmm. Which here in my county, I mean, it's the Black Warrior River, and we've got dams all up and down it, and it never. I mean, it goes down some, but it ain't like it might drop 2 foot if it's a drought. But
I've got a friend up in East Tennessee that likes to go to some of the TVA lakes and take photographs of the boats in the locks going from one lake to a lower elevation lake. And it's like, if you didn't understand the canal down in Central America, this is what it is, folks. Same thing, just a little bit bigger thing down there.
Chris Walker is saying it is the Chattahoochee.
It is the Chattahoochee? Okay, I'll take Chris's word for it.
I was going to say, I was thinking.
Hang on, Chris, I'll get your link to you.
I was thinking it might have been the Tallahassee, but.
Yeah, Chris paid attention in class where I was drawing comics and trying to figure out how math worked.
Hi, Damien.
Tallahassee.
Hello, Damien. Let me pop you up here on.
Get some sleep, man.
Oh yeah, please.
We'll get that script to you, Damien.
I think the Tallahassee's on the other side of that.
I wouldn't know that all these rivers with the names that nobody can pronounce, and everybody goes, "Well, yeah, they're Native American names. You white folks ain't supposed to be able to pronounce them. That's why we named them this shit."
Well, I was about to say, I mean, Alabama and Georgia's got the most lakes and rivers in the Southeast. I mean,
yeah, but
which
we don't.
everybody knows the Mississippi, but
Oh Lord, yeah. Can't tell you how many times I've had to cross that bugger and get in the middle of the bridge and go, I hope this was built by the TVA.
Yeah. Hope an earthquake don't hit right now.
You're looking for Mothman on the supports just in case, you know? Like, glance over the side. Do I need a parachute or an inflatable raft or both? I need to make this decision.
This is about the time where I should recommend Stephanie Osborne's book on the fault line that runs through the Southeast here.
There's multiple ones.
Well, this is the big one. Is it New Madrid?
Yeah, New Madrid. Yeah.
When that sucker cuts loose,
no,
there's not gonna be a house standing between here and Middle Texas.
Yep.
Chris, check your messenger. I sent your link there for you.
Yeah,
but
part of that runs through St. Louis. There's a children's museum where you can actually touch the fault line.
It does go northward quite a bit, and
I was about to say it goes through the main part. I think goes through Memphis.
Yep,
if I'm thinking correct.
And it is a couple of thousand years overdue for cutting.
Well, see, they found that up there in Tennessee. They found that fault line and that volcano a few years back.
Oh, you mean the ones underneath the nuclear power plants? Yes.
Yeah.
Only in Tennessee do they build nuclear power plants on a fault line. No. Hey, it's cheap electricity.
What y'all don't know is it's a security feature. If anything goes wrong, they just hit the big red button and flush the whole facility down the fault line. Nothing can go wrong with that.
It's going to be the Memphis syndrome.
It's not going to melt down. It's going to melt up.
Yeah.
Somewhere in New Mexico, it's going to go.
Yeah, we'll send it northward.
Oh, please.
You know what? Indiana hasn't got much of much. I've been all over it. I've seen the beauty of this country. And I'm going to say, and I live in Indiana. But let's show some mercy, folks. I mean, for those of us in the Hoosier State, please redirect your nuclear waste to New Jersey or
where it belongs. Yeah.
Yeah, we've already had the Army's depot for nerve gas.
That's Deidre.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
let's say 3 Mile Island and all that.
Hey, that's not 3 Mile Island. It's in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Why do you think everybody keeps buying that damn chocolate? They're hooked on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, why do you think Biden's so crazy?
More about Halloween away from new superpowers.
Yeah, really. It glows in the dark. That's why you can find it on Halloween night.
Right.
You know the good stuff because it's right there in your bag. You can see it from a block away. The safety
now,
feature.
Remember, folks, with Halloween, practice safety. Check your candy. If it doesn't make the Geiger counter go, it's not authentic.
That's right. It's probably from Europe.
Yeah.
Europe, get a rope. No,
Cadbury's.
Now I got problems with Cadbury cream eggs. Problems being that my blood sugar can only handle so much, and my desire outweighs what it can handle. I need a Cadbury bunny hunting license or something.
My wife is always going on about American chocolate. My God, that stuff qualifies as candle wax in Europe.
Well, see, The problem is, she didn't grow up poor in America, and it messes
No,
with
she
my
grew up
friends.
poor in England.
Right. Well, no. See, like, you got to get the Palmer's chocolate and be happy you got it, even though it's got like one cocoa flake for 50 pounds of paraffin,
Yeah.
augmented by some old Rice Krispie treats. God bless
Chris.
Chris for that entrance.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
And here I bring Chris in the room. You start talking about old Rice Krispie treats. That ain't fair.
That's better than my introduction on the previous show.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
nice,
just to,
Bonnie.
Back in my day, they just called us honkies, but
Well, I don't even know what. I don't even know what. I don't even know what. I don't even.
yeah.
If that's what.
You
hey,
brought
Ace,
some of the,
Ace, what you were talking about a little bit ago about the guy introducing Kiss dying, or was you talking about Francis Stuber, Paul Stanley's guitar tech? Because I know he just died a few days ago.
yeah.
Bill, if that's what they called you, I don't know what they would call me and Dan.
Hey, I'm hoping for redneck. I can live with that.
Yeah,
People of interest. That's what they call.
I got
First-
called
oh,
something very bad when I moved up here to Illinois, but I won't talk about that. But
Good. Then let's not get us all canceled to death with extreme prejudice, there, Bill.
yeah,
Going
How you
back
doing,
to,
Chris?
I'm doing all right. Going back to talking about rivers. There's lots of interesting names here. But yeah, there's a 3-way state debate over the Chattahoochee Flint River basin because the Flint River basically starts south of Atlanta and runs through Albany and meets at Lake Seminole. And
Florida wants it. Alabama wants it.
and Georgia wants it.
Yeah.
And then also you have the Chattahoochee, which runs up, north of Gainesville, and then through Atlanta, and then eventually there's a state border for Alabama and Georgia about halfway down, and also runs into the Lake Seminole. And they both form the Apalachicola below Lake Seminole.
See, is that where Lake Guntersville on that side over there?
Guntersville's in Alabama.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying. There's a Weiss or
Tennessee River.
Y'all have a good night. Parental
Good
duties
night,
are
Nick.
acting up.
Good night, Nick.
see you, Nick.
Letter Nick.
But Georgia and Florida and Alabama have been in a battle over those water rights since the 90s.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And every time they come close to having an agreement,
somebody blows
the governors change, and it starts all over.
Yeah, it's well. I was about to say in the 90s, it was Alabama had a Democrat governor. Then it's been Republican ever since.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Georgia's changed. They've had Democrats. They've had Republicans. Florida the same way.
I found a way around that entire debate. I've got a 200-foot drilled well.
Well, Atlanta wouldn't need so much water if people didn't think they had to water their yards every damn day.
Well, I was about to say, they can't be that much grass in Atlanta.
There's more trees and grass in Atlanta than you would believe. That's one of the reasons why we don't have good roads. We actually have fairly good north-south roads in Atlanta. It's just east-west ones there's not enough of, and the ones we have generally suck.
So you saying you blaming it on Alabama coming out of Alabama?
No, it's just poor planning on Georgia's part.
It's about to start, Dan.
Here we go.
The people that want $200 an ounce. That's what we blame it on.
Yeah. Well, we got a water company up here, and much as I love the little town of Oakwood, and I thought I'd get over here and different water company than Aqua and better water than Danville, and this water stinks. Now I mean that literally. And it is brought in, they sold out to a company that will charge you, even if you don't use a drop of water all month long, they will charge you $79.
Good grief.
Now, after that, you're allowed so many thousand gallons. And then if you use that amount and keep on going before the end of the month, then you get a water usage charge on top of that. And so the water bills over here are sky high. And thank God where I live, the rent's cheap. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. Oakwood, town of 1,600, and not very big, but a lot of other small towns around here, Georgetown, Westville, they're going through the same battle. And they're paying. Matter of fact, I think Georgetown pays more than what Oakwood does. I was talking to a realtor a few months ago, and she lives there, and she said, yeah, she says it's bad. And so and to think, well, where Laura lives over in Urbana, which is 20 minutes away, they have I think it's called American Water over there.
Illinois American Water. I used to work for them.
Okay. And you can drink it out of the tap. It's that good over there. She actually, I saved my, right. I saved my empty, because I buy my water, spring water to drink and for my coffee and to cook with and all that. I don't dare use this water for anything other than bathing and doing the dishes. And I'm a little resentful of that even, but no, I save my empty gallon water jugs and give them to her so she can fill up water to take over to her dad over in Hillary, and because he's on the Danville water over there, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and they keep talking about raising the rate again because they have all these systems throughout Oakwood that they got to work on all the pipes. Right. Well, and it's like, well, you're getting tons of money from 1,600 plus people that live in Oakwood out of all this every month. Where in the hell is the money going to?
I would be filing a complaint with the Public Service Commission or whatever state board.
Well,
does that.
The mayor and the aldermen and all them, they all got their hands in it. Well, or they'll say their hands are tied.
Yeah, you got to go to state.
Purified, they've all got their hands in it.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is it's like the state of Illinois. They probably take the profit from the water company and all the other public utilities tied to the thing and put it in like a general fund. So that the whole city is running off that thing. Now, Bill, if you move like to St. Joe, Illinois American Water has a pipeline that runs down 150 that services St. Joe.
Yeah, and my cousin lives over there, and she says her water is decent.
Here's the thing, because the water is really good. They actually have contests to see what water system has the best tasting water, and it's also a matter of how the water's treated too. But Champaign, the Champaign district has consistently won it for probably the last 20 years. They've won most of those contests.
And the sad thing is, I remember now. I've only been in Illinois since 1975, and compared to the artesian springs that we had out behind our house in Cherokee. The water in Danville in 1975 was kind of blah, but it was actually drinkable. I remember drinking from the pot. I remember drinking from the garden hose too, because that's what us kids did back then. But and that's why we don't have COVID or polio or the mumps anymore. But anyway, Danville's up the same creek, where theirs doesn't smell horribly bad. It smells horribly like a swimming pool.
Here's why. here's why. There is a thing, and sometimes it will smell worse than others because a lot of systems have something called breakpoint, where they actually increase the amount of the chlorine
paraffin
in
and
the
Chlorine,
water.
yeah.
It's actually a variant of chlorine now that's
Mhm.
a lot more efficient, but that's to kill whatever's in the pipes
Yeah.
that could have grown up, especially in
The
areas
lead.
where the water is not moving as quickly, like in cul-de-sacs.
Well, see, Bill, what I was going to say, I mean, I live, the little town I live in, it's 1,400 people down here. And it's Ralph Foster's water, whatever. But heck, my water bill ain't, but depending on how much usage I use, between 30 and $35 a month. And,
Well, yeah.
and what I was going to say is every 3 months, like what he was just talking about, they send out a comparison between our water, I guess purity, pure. It just shows
Purification.
they compare it to the Tuscaloosa City, the city water line, and they show like the differences, like and everything like that. They show you what's in the water.
Yeah, when I was still living in the yellow house in Batestown, I was paying, and that was Aqua there too. I was paying $29 a month on average. And of course, there I had washers and dry, to use 2-3 times a week, whatever. And just tons cheaper. But yeah, everybody is up in arms about it, and nobody with any power at all seems to want to do anything about it, or they say they can't do anything about it. And like I said, there's the rumors of it going up again because of all the repairs they got to make.
Well, ours is about to go up 3% next month. That's the first time ours has went up since I've been here in the last 10 years. So
I remember when I was a child in Athens, Georgia, city water was about $35 a month per household, and it stayed that way up until the mid 80s. And then all of a sudden, the county decided that they were going to charge a sewer charge. So the amount of water that you got pumped into your house equaled the amount of water that got flushed down the drains. So you were all of a sudden had a $70
sewer and water charge.
Yep, a
Yeah, we had that
$70
in
water
Champaign
bill.
too.
Yep. So they were charging you coming and going, and it was the same water. It didn't matter whether you were watering your yard or just poured a glass and drank it or made a cup of coffee. You still had to pay the 35 coming in and the 35 going out. And I'm going, excuse me, you were doing this for 30 years and you didn't feel it necessary to charge for the sewer lines. And now all of a sudden you're building this big football stadium or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And now you need more money. Okay. Let me move out here in Madison County where you dig your own well or you just wait for a 5-gallon bucket of rainwater to come run off the roof. And they keep trying to go for city water out here. Unfortunately, the nearest city looks like a Matchbox car. And you're talking about a territory that takes up the county is a fifth the size of Atlanta, and everybody has their own will, and they're still trying to talk people into let us purify this water and send it to you. And we're going, excuse me, you're gonna charge me for something I can get basically for however much it costs my electric bill to pump it up into the house. and I've got a septic tank out here to take it away, which makes me have to mow the backyard 3 times as often as the front yard. But
Yeah.
still,
Or
it
grow
makes
rice, one of the
flowers.
two.
It makes my flowers back yonder. The gardenias are really good this year, and we're just going. The profit margin in this is all in your favor and none in ours. You want to give us chlorinated crap when what we've got is stuff with enough iron content in it to make sure that we never have to buy a bottle of Geritol in our entire life.
Well, that's like I was saying when we were living in Cherokee still. Dad had a well and it tapped into an artesian spring. And I grew up on that. And even when I went to my cousins that lived on the res, they all had wells. Everybody had well water there. And that, well, we moved up here in 75. I think it was 10 years later, where we were considered part of the county. They started getting city water from Cherokee out there, and people hate it for the same reason that you're just saying, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
But they had no say so into it.
Well, they are pushing it inside the city limits of all the little towns around here, but you're talking 500 to maybe 1,700 people in each town, whereas you got thousands and thousands and thousands of people outside of city limits. They're going, you're going to have to tear up my front yard to lay down a pipe, and then you're going to tell me I've got to buy it from you, or you're not going to supply a fire hydrant just in case my house catches on fire?
Well,
excuse me?
Well, I was going to say,
Brian, do you? Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say, Dan, that sounds like what they have tried to do down this way. They built a wastewater treatment plant for the new high school they built down here, and they try to call it a city water or whatever they want to try to call it. It's not city water, but they're trying to run it like new houses that get built and everything like that. They're trying to make them be on that line. And
I can see where it would work inside of city limits, especially if there is something where it is actually treated to remove some of the iron content from the native water and fluoridate it and chlorinate it and stuff like that, to where you can turn on the tap and it. Yeah, I can pour before I put filters in on the well. I could pour a glass of water, sit it on the countertop, go to bed, get up the next morning, and the water had rusted.
Yeah.
Because there's that much iron content in the soil.
Yeah.
But
going, hey, iron don't hurt people. You need it.
Well, that's what I was about to say. And see, and they were trying to force people to be on that thing.
Yep.
And
that they have around here.
And they were trying to take away their septic tanks also. And I was like, if they
run sewage 25 miles to a treatment plant.
Well, I was about to say, I told my wife, I was like, if they even try to come down this way, they're gonna have a fight, because it ain't gonna happen.
Well, to put it politely, the last time that they came up with a suggestion, I told them what they could kiss and when.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we had somebody like that on our line, going down to Tuscola. Bill will know this. And
Tuscaloosa?
No, Tuscola. It's a community in East Central Illinois. But anyway, they offered the people along where this line would run to this other community our company offered them, the people that lived along the thing, saying, we'll hook you up for free. We'll even give you free water for like 20 years or something like that. And all of them said no. But while I was working for Illinois American Water, all of them started calling us up and saying, can we still get that deal? It turned out they found arsenic in the water.
Oh.
And it was making them quite sick. And unfortunately, our company had been, when the offer had been made, it was privately owned. But we got bought out by a foreign company. Now we're American again. Now the company is American owned. But they said no. That was the original owners. We don't. We are not going to offer you that deal again. So.
Brian, do you remember a place called Tree?
To go with that water.
Yeah.
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 Do you remember a place? If you're headed from Danville on 136, going toward Covington, right there by, used to be Apple Chevrolet, now it's Ford.
Changed hands several times, yeah.
Yes. That road, just on the west side of them, going north and south, if you went south on that,
right,
went over the overpass over 74 and kept going, you would come down to a farmhouse that had a great big concrete trough with a pipe coming out. And they always referred to that as tree springs. And it was, artesian well. And we, back in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was a floor walker at Hills, and then my buddy was working at R&S Printing out on the Eastgate. We both got off about, I think it was around 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the evening, about the same time. And we would run on over to Covington to go have a late supper, early breakfast at Benjamin's restaurant back when they were open 24 hours.
Right.
And all the time we would go out there, and then I had a big collapsible 5-gallon jug that I would take with me and fill it up with that water from Tree Springs, take back for my mom.
Sure.
And after so many years, I thought, I'm going to go by there again. And I just to drive by to see if it's still there. Drove by it, it'd been tapped off.
That's right.
And yeah, and now this was on somebody's personal property. Like I said, the water was constantly coming out of the pipe,
right,
and it goes into this concrete trough, and then there's a drain in the bottom of the trough, which I don't know if that goes into the ground or somewhere off into another drain possibly. But anyway, because the actual farmhouse sit kind of high up on the hill off the back a little ways, and this was right down by the road, literally by the road. And I got talking with a couple of waitresses that I knew at Benjamin's a few nights after that. And I said, hey, I drove by Tree Springs. What happened? It's the pipe's been capped off. And they said, yeah, they said, somebody got a hold of the EPA and bitched about it. And then they turned around and sent somebody out and said, oh, we can't have this because we found certain levels of bacteria in this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they said, well, wait a minute. Now, people's been drinking this water for years and there's no problem with it. And, everybody's still alive. We have it. This is the same water that we have from our well.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they said, no, you got to shut it off. You can't, if you want to continue to drink it or use it at your house, that's one thing, but you can't have it available for people to have access to it that just drive up. And
you guys buy all used to it. Your body's had built up an immunity to it. That's the job of the EPA, is to make sure that somebody who comes in, say, from out of county, doesn't take a drink of that water and winds up getting the Hershey squirts.
Well, the story goes on that they actually called somebody out to test it.
Mm-hmm.
And like what Dan was talking about a few minutes ago, they found things in the water that typically would not really harm you. Mm-hmm. And iron being one of them. Well, anyway, long story short, they said, well, you can debate this, we can send our findings, but it'll be long and drawn out and you probably won't win. And so obviously that's when they tapped it off. But years and years of people going and getting that. Mm-hmm. And it's so far away from everything else. It's not like it was right there on 136 where somebody jumping off of 74 from Ohio or Tuscaloosa, Alabama, come up there.
But ain't like jumping off 2059.
Yeah,
131 or something.
Well, from 136 going to Covington, if you went south on this, and I forget what county road it is, but you went south on that road, you're basically driving. It's like almost 10 miles.
Yeah.
Just to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's far removed from any regular traffic, and there's no covered bridges around there, so there won't be any of the leafers and all them type of tourists wandering around there.
EPA, and you're not going to win with them, like you said.
No.
But the thing is, if they find stuff in the water that they think people shouldn't have, that's their job, is to regulate it, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yet this water that I have right here in Oakwood that oftentimes smells like sewage coming out of the pipe. It looks clear.
Well, the thing is, you get an annual report from your water system because Illinois American generates one every year.
It's probably sulfur.
Well, I don't. Well, see, our water where I'm at, I pay my rent, and the garbage and the water is part of the rent.
You still should get one.
Yeah, you should get one just as the owner of as the person, just having an address there. That's the way it's supposed to run. And sometimes some areas run afoul of the EPA. Now, in that case, they have to come up with a plan to address the problem, which, in this case is the bad smelling water. That could take years, and that could be part of why your water bill is going up. To deal with that, because they might be getting a brand new filtering system or something. And trust me, they built one when I was working for Illinois American Water. We're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's probably sulfur, if I had to guess. But
that could be more common in artesian wells.
Just be thankful it's not the crap that happened to Flint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was a cover up there. Their scientists, I think, were on.
And see, going back to where I live, my power is a co-op power company, and it's.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Most everybody down here is or in Alabama is Alabama Power, Southern Company, blah blah blah. But where I'm at is Blackwater Electric, and it's a co-op. And heck, at the end of the year, we get a check at the end of the year because we save money.
The interest gained on people paying for X amount. And the co-op invests it and returns the investment to all the people in the co-op. Yeah.
Oh, and it's
we've got a co-op here, and It's like
it's
Hey, Sarah.
cheaper, and it's
yeah,
cheaper than the Alabama, the Alabama Power.
the big power companies. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh, we usually get somewhere between $5 and $25 a year, or a rebate for uh, basically uh, conserving the amount of power that we
we
use.
just we just got a $20 check last week.
Yeah.
So,
So it's nice. It's nice. There was an offer here to there was a company that was going to come out and put solar cells all over the roof of the house and for free, and tie us into the local electric grid where the co-op would have to pay us for
pay
anything,
up.
yeah, over. And they did a satellite survey and determined which houses were going to be able to benefit from this and which were ineligible. And mine is ineligible because I have a couple of trees right up next to the house
Well, I was about to say you
to
probably
keep the
don't.
heating bill down. But
Well, I was about to say you probably don't use enough power either. So.
uh,
So, did you hear about what happened? And Brian, you might have heard this in Harvey, Illinois. The last few days, they went. They get their water from Dixmoor, Illinois. Dixmoor had a boil order, and they were turning around and having to shut things off while the order was going on. Did not notify anybody in Harvey. And when they turned the water back on, a valve got stuck in the off position. That was part of the valve that was going to Harvey. So Harvey literally had nothing, no pressure, just barely a trickle at first for days. And they finally found where it was. It took them a while. Now I guess they were digging it back out to try to manually switch that valve again. But they said that the way they had shut it off for the boil and then turned it back on when they issued the boil order for Dixmoor, that it was done improperly, and I don't exactly understand it, but it said it just kind of slammed it all, and that's what made that valve to stay stuck in the shut off in the off position.
Sounds like they put it in the reverse rather than.
We had a water outage at the factory a couple of years back. The city water, for some reason, got cut off, and it was internal to the plant. It was not the city that had done it. And the only water supply they had was the fire suppression system. So they ran a fire hose from the fire suppression system to the input for the different water supply for the plant. We were told, do not drink this water.
Right. Yeah.
But now the toilets work. Okay. You can flush the toilets now. And that went on for about 3 months or so. And then they disconnected everything, got the city water back. And it was about 6 months later before all the pipes got cleaned out enough to where the drinking water was actually safe. And they had most of the sinks in the restrooms going, and the break room, and several other places inside the plant were just continually running for months to try and clean out any contaminants from the fire suppression system.
Right. Because that's stagnant water. One of the things that keeps water fresh is it's moving.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it took quite a while to clean stuff, and there are some people that still don't trust it, and I don't blame them. I get my water through a filtered system hooked up to the city water now.
Yeah.
But I mean, at work for my coffee. Try and keep me from making a cup of coffee. I will boil water on a campfire. If you
I go to Myers or Walmart and buy a gallon of spring water for 88 cents. That's just, I just keep that for anything that I'm going to put inside of me, whether it be the coffee or the cooking or what have you.
Hey, that's wisdom right there.
Well,
well, the thing is, a lot of these companies, they just take it from the city water anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the companies, they don't even filter it. I know of at least one bottling company on the lines that we had in Champaign County that they just basically ran a tap into their bottling machine, and that's all the work they did, and then they just cap it off and sell it. That's why the joke is Dansani is French for Coca-Cola just made you pay $2 for a bottle of water.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
we had filters you could see had a transparent cover over the water filters going into the water fountains, and after about 3 weeks, you could see all the crap that was coming out of the city water that was getting caught by these filters.
Oh yeah, it happens.
And people are walking around looking at this, going, "I'm supposed to drink that?"
Well, here's the thing, though. I remember this is about 4 or 5 years ago. There was some fancy, one of the newer hotels, I want to say in Las Vegas. They basically put in a filter that was so strong it was filtering out everything, including the chlorine. Now, the chlorine helps keep the pipes clean.
Yeah.
And they wound up having like dozens of people get sick that were drinking the water inside that hotel after a while because it had removed the things that was killing the germs in the water.
Yep. Well, the good thing about champagne water, didn't you say it won like the taste test?
Oh yeah, constantly, and it was good. You could tell it was a marked difference in how it tasted compared to someplace like Danville, for instance, which is like what, a half hour away, Bill. And I agree, Danville water is virtual. Last time I had any, it was. I don't drink the water in Danville. It
was like drinking pool water because it's got so much chlorine in it.
Yeah,
it's because it has to.
Yeah, it smells like it too. As soon as you turn on the faucet, you could smell it coming out.
Well, they might be taking it out of the Little Vermilion River for all I know, and that thing, you could be Jesus. You could walk on it too. It's got so much crap in it. But
remember when the Cuyahoga River caught fire?
Yes, I remember that. In Lake Erie at one point,
Vermilion River might be the most scenic river in Illinois, but it probably isn't the safest, especially after that deal with that plant leaking chemicals into it.
Oh no, they're in a lot of places. Remember when they had the old photomat type places? A lot of those, were just pouring the developer fluid down the drain. And that was part of the trouble we had with some of the waterways in Vermilion and Champaign County.
Yeah.
So
our biggest problem in the city is they'll have on the pumps, they'll have say a 24-inch pipe running into the sub pumps, and the pipe going out is only like a 12-inch or 8-inch pipe, and they wonder why it floods all the time on certain streets and crap. I'm like, there you go. They just killed me down here. But hey, we'll just build some more river walk and everything else like that.
Gotta make you enjoy it while you're still alive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why I've got this deal with a bottled water company that ships me Julie Newmar's bath water. So
pay a premium for that.
There's worse you could do than that.
Yeah.
May not be good for your health, but boy, it sure feels good going down.
He said going down.
It's the thought that counts.
That's right.
Of course, there's more than one thought, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I only have one.
After
I only have room for two thoughts on that matter, but
yeah.
Not much
think
more
they're
though, Dan.
they're both going in the same direction.
They're both going down, ain't they?
Yeah.
So, do you think there's a spigot attached somewhere? I don't see it in this picture, but
She's not the one with the spigot.
oh,
We're gonna have to.
I guess that's a rope on the ladder.
That's another thing. Though. We're
Dan might have a rope.
You know.
Yeah.
I really can't say any of the 15 million thoughts that are going through my mind right now.
Yeah, well, they're not for polite conversation.
Oh,
When did
believe
we
me,
start having that?
this would be very polite if I ever got a chance to carry on that conversation. Let me tell you.
Let me rephrase that. They're a little too explicit for those under a certain age.
Yeah,
it's kind of you to worry about me. Thank you, Chris.
we're talking from birth on up. Maybe even pre-birth.
She's
Free bird.
No,
Oh God,
pre-bird.
Don't play that, please.
Hey, play it pretty for Atlanta.
I was thinking about Randy Newman's song about the Cuyahoga River right before you said Cuyahoga River.
Oh yeah. Randy Newman has a way of striking straight to the
nerve.
certain matters.
He has a way of getting that jab in there. It just really sticks. And
yes, he does. Yes, he does. There are several of his songs that I used to listen to quite a lot that I can't play anymore because sensibilities have changed since the song was.
Well, I have a coworker that has recently discovered Short People by Randy Newman.
Well, that's not even one of the ones that I was thinking of that I can't enjoy anymore because it has there's ulterior meanings in there.
Hey, I'm married to a short person, so
but the thing is, the guy is like 20-something years old.
No.
And he just now discovered it.
Well,
some people are like that.
Some people are late to the party.
Try and keep him from discovering rednecks.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
In his defense,
and Sail Away. And oh my God, there's so many questionable things that were beautiful songs back in the day, but now civilization has evolved.
That's true.
Yes, you will get canceled.
That's true.
Well, and there's some of them that was just wasn't necessarily trying to belittle anyone. That it just spoke of the way things were, and the one I'm thinking of is "The Way It Is" by Bruce Hornsby and the Range.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And the operative term here is were, because they are not that way anymore.
No, and it's good that they aren't, but
Well, yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But all the stuff that used to be,
it's history.
For want of a better term, all in good fun, and trying to ridicule a stereotype, is now,
well, people have become so oversensitive, they don't understand that they were poking fun at the stereotype. They just
satire is such a difficult concept to get across sometimes. And these were satirical songs.
Yeah.
Although their
biggest
audiences back in the day did not know they were satire. They thought they were an anthem.
Yeah.
But now that it's satire, they're going, "Oh, we're not going to listen to that anymore." But
well, that and
there's some that...
today everybody wants to be a victim.
Well, there are far worse pieces of music to try and wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
Hi, Carrie.
Somehow or another allowed.
Good morning, Carrie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, got rap music. I can call you a hoe or.
Well,
like
no,
that.
there's at least one country music artist that, except for maybe 2 songs that he has done in his entire career, you really are better off not knowing anything he's ever done in his lifetime.
There was recently a thing about a Brazilian rapper that got all his videos pulled from YouTube because he was kind of doing
was it to Joe Biden, the Brandon song?
No. It was a video about. It was making fun of black people, but he was doing it in the way that black people do it on rap songs. He was trying to act the same way. And, like what you're mentioning about hoes and stuff. And it showed him, and I didn't see this. This is just the report that I heard off of WBBM out of Chicago yesterday. They said that in the video, at one point, he was sitting on top of a doghouse eating a piece of watermelon. And then he was walking, and 2 black women were walking in front of him, but he had them on leashes. And the song, I can't remember the name of it.
Like it'll float today.
No. Well,
a little too subtle.
Yeah, and he was using the N word with the A on the end, which is supposed to be acceptable, which of course I don't believe in, and everything up. Well, long story short, like I said, YouTube pulled all of his videos, and they think that there's going to be further actions because of it. But I think that they shouldn't stop there. I think that they should check out some other rap stuff that's done the same thing for 20 years and they get by with it.
20 plus years.
Yeah, it's very much a racist thing.
Right.
Well, hey Carrie, how you doing?
Speaking of sleeping through things, Cookie wants me to sleep through the night, so she has summoned me to her side.
Hey, Brian, I appreciate you sticking out. I'm sorry I couldn't make it for Stupid O'Clock earlier. I was busy trying to take care of some things before.
Chris, I was trying to fill in for you, man. I did the best I could. I'm sorry.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. You take care.
I appreciate you too. And we'll see each other in a week, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one there.
Yep.
Hey, it's only a matter of a few days. So.
I know it. It's going to be fun.
It'll be here before you know it.
I know.
Hallowcon.com.
Check out Jeffrey Hayes' poster for that thing. # always promote.
We'll be able to embarrass each other in the flesh, and we'll never live that down like we can delete the videos. But
and as Joe Dog says, they do not supply bail money.
I'm waiting. Well, I'll send bail money. I'm waiting on a live.
As long as they don't supply videotape and web space, we'll be all right.
That's okay. I just learned to admit everything. So
there you go.
Well, thank you for joining in, Sarah. Sorry I couldn't catch you earlier.
Good night, Sarah.
Good night, Sarah.
And good night, guys.
Good night, Brian.
Good night, Brian.
Good night, Brian.
Anytime you want to, Brian, you are more than welcome.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Have a good one.
Good one.
Take care.
See you.
We really went off the rails here for a little bit here. And how many times can I say here in a sentence without sounding stupid?
I didn't know we were ever on the rails.
That's the nice thing about this show.
We try and skirt them.
We don't need no rails.
John Scarborough showed the rails in Stupid O'Clock earlier tonight. So
yeah,
we left them
after they'd been repaired. So,
yeah.
Well, I didn't see the rails, so
him starting the show, I was not expecting that.
well, Lewis has been busy for.
Well, I know Lewis has been busy, but I figured
He's
Joe
making money.
off.
Well, Joe kind of trades off every once in a while. He'll put somebody else on the hot seat, but tonight was John's turn, and he acquitted himself adequately.
Oh, he did nicely. It was a nice story about the
so too.
Y'all need to turn it over to Bill next week.
Oh yeah, I'll do it next week.
Next week, yeah, when we're not having one.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it next week on both Thursday and Saturday night. How's that?
Me and Bill will have a good time.
Yeah. The Bill and Josh show. Hey.
God.
I don't know. Me and Dan might get feeling good and start doing a last man standing Thursday night.
Well, that's fine.
Well, I'm surprised that Carl wants to do a green room on Friday night. I'm like, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he claims
we don't need Joe's permission to do a last man standing.
Yeah.
Trouble is, by Saturday night and a convention weekend, I don't know if I'm going to be standing.
No. I was talking about Thursday night, not Saturday.
Thursday night I'm looking for a place to sit, but
Well, when Donna said that last night that she thought that Ted was going to host a green room, and then by the time I got home, it was almost 9:00 from the auction, but
well, I
didn't see anything. And then I saw Nick Talkert post in Secret Humor Group, "What? No green room?" And I told him to start one, and then I tried to tag a handful of people, but
I was about to say I didn't know nothing about it till Bill tagged me in it last night.
And he had his.
I was at work, so I couldn't have done anything.
Well, I knew you and Joe couldn't, and I
can't even log into my YouTube account without getting in trouble at work.
Oh yeah.
Did I see where you said this is your last week on, or this was your last week on night shift?
I said yesterday night was my last night on night shift.
Night shift. Okay.
This week, and boy was it was a killer night. It took a lot out of me. They were running something that is usually very, very difficult to run, and they had gotten customer complaints on this stuff before, so they had tweaked it all day before I got there. So they wanted hourly checks on everything to make sure it was still good, because it was fantastic when I got there. So I had to check it every hour for 12 hours long. And by the time I got through with one, it was time for the next one. I just barely got enough time to eat my lunch, eat my dinner, and my wife had given me waffles for breakfast. And if the line had not shut itself off at 6:15 this morning, I would not have gotten my breakfast. I would have had to have bring it. But I wound up, instead of having to do my last check at 6:00, the line shut down, and I could go get a sample, but it might be contaminated by whatever it was that shut the line off at 5:45. So I'd really rather not do that. So I just called it quits and went and ate breakfast. And I got home, and I had 2 beers while I was trying to catch up on everything online that I missed overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And by 9:30 in the morning, I went to bed, and I did not open my eyes again till almost 5 in the afternoon.
Hey, I was up at that time.
Well, I was supposed to get up around noon and fix my wife's turn signals on her car. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. So,
well, I mean, when you was up the first time.
Oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, it means that when she gets home from church tomorrow afternoon, I've got to crawl into her trunk and try and take taillights apart. And I don't know. This is a 2002 Buick. It does not conform to normal common sense rules of how
what kind of Buick? What kind of Buick is it?
It's a LeSabre.
Should only have 3 nuts on the back of them taillights.
It ain't got none. You got to go into it from inside the trunk.
Yeah.
You've got to pull off the
panel,
armor plating inside the trunk.
Yeah, you got to pull that panel off, and
well, I tried that before, and the damn thing wouldn't come off. So
yeah,
I've looked in the owner's manual, and I was on the right track. I was just not vigorous enough with the force of trying to pry this stuff away. So I've got to do it. She can't get by without turn signals. It's not safe.
What was repaired and we went and broke them?
What?
Kerry said. I was trying to figure out what he was talking about. They were repaired and we went and broke them.
If he's not talking about reality, I don't know. Oh, the rails.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
We didn't break them. We just we don't need no stinking rails.
Yeah.
We just redirected them.
we skirt them on occasion.
Where we go, we don't need no rails.
They got broke for all the times we got rode out of town on a rail.
We redirected them.
We're trying to make sure we don't get sent to the train station by the Duttons.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I've still got to try and install a new backup camera on my van before Hallowcon. So I've got a dependable blind spot free rear view on my way to the convention.
All right, Kerry. That's
Braves and Astros again for the Astros. Was it third time in 5 years or something for them?
Yeah.
No, it's been the first time the Braves have been to the World Series, and
he was talking about the Astros, Josh.
Oh,
Astros. Yeah. Why couldn't Dusty have been that good of a manager when he was a manager for the Cubs back in the day? Good grief.
Well, he ain't got a cheating team.
And he's got to be getting up there in years now, too. I don't know how old he is right at the moment, but he was pretty old back then.
Well,
he played for the Braves, didn't
he? Yeah, he played for the Braves, and then he played for the Dodgers. Because he was a Dodger when I first knew him. Because when I used to watch the Braves on Superstation, back when it was called the Superstation, he was playing for the Dodgers and not the Braves anymore.
I will leave it to your gentlemen's expertise on the sports ball stuff, because absolutely no dog in this hunt.
Well, your dogs won today, so
I ain't got no dog in that hunt neither.
I don't even know if they played today, to be honest.
No, the Georgia's off this week.
Yeah,
we got Florida next week.
The only Georgia game I care about is Georgia versus Tennessee, because I can root for both sides, and I know it's going to be a good game, no matter who wins, because both teams are going to play their hearts out. I'm
just still shocked that Illini won today. They were 3-5, and Penn State was what, 7-1 or something, like whatever.
7-0 or
7-0 something. Well, yeah, they were number 7 in the Big Ten. I know that, but as far as the ranking, but
9 overtimes.
Grief, and I think Illini just kind of lucked into that one. I always tell people, and believe me, I'm a true blue Fighting Illini fan, but when they got rid of Chief Illini Wick, it really kind of beat me down as a fan, and
took the win.
They started going bad, believe it or not. The very next year afterwards, they did not play like they used to play, and then people started saying, "Oh, that's the curse of Illini Wick," and I'm like, "Well, what's going to stop this curse?" And they, "Well, bring them back, I guess." And well, that ain't going to happen. They're trying to find another mascot or do like Cleveland's baseball team, Indians. Was it just called Cleveland now? The Cleveland baseball team, or
no? It's the Washington football team.
Yeah, it's the Washington football team.
Or Redskins. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done anything about
you're thinking about the
Washington football.
Washington.
Washington. Well, Ole Miss, they went from the Sharks to the Black Bears to the. I don't even know what they are now.
The team name change to the Atlanta Corgis. Something that everybody can love.
If they do that, I will not.
I'm guessing.
Who fucking cares? It's baseball. It's boring. I'd rather mow the yard.
I'm guessing Alabama took care of Tennessee today.
Oh yeah, 54 to 24.
Yeah. Hey, they scored one more touchdown than I thought they would. No, wait a minute. They scored a field goal more because I thought they'd score 3 touchdowns. They got a field goal too.
You know what's really weird about the World Series? An American team always wins.
Well, except for the year Toronto did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's going to start Tuesday, isn't it?
Yep. Didn't realize that one, did you, Dad?
No, because I don't really give a damn about sports ball, Here I make a smart-ass remark, and you got to bring up reality.
Can't help it.
I was telling Josh last night that I looked over at Laura and was talking about baseball, and of course, me and Laura are diehard Cub fans, even though Cubs didn't do worth squat this year, and we were both pretty pissed about it. But I said, "Well," she says, "baseball's over with," and I said, "Yeah, I know, but I guess I'm going to go ahead and root for the Braves in the World Series if they make it." And she turned around and gave me the most evil stare. I mean, she like I called her the worst name in the world or something or other. And I said, "My first beagle was named after Henry Aaron." Okay. And she's like, "Okay, I'm going to let you go on this time." It was kind of one of those, just don't bring it up again. I'll let you live now.
Well,
that's like my wife when she says, "I'm going to watch a football game," and I go in the living room. She's watching Portsmouth play soccer.
Oh God!
Hey, that's
I actually watched.
That is her home team, Portsmouth.
I watched soccer this morning. Actually, Chelsea and I think they was playing Dartmouth or
and Portsmouth has won.
Yeah.
Whatever the world.
The Eastern European League or whatever.
There's several different leagues I found.
There's so many I can't understand it, but twice Portsmouth has won. Once was before World War II, and once was about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's like, hey, when those folks get fired up, they get fired up.
Oh yeah.
Is Manchester United still a big thing?
Oh yeah.
Well,
they are, but they suck.
Not for Portsmouth fans, but yes,
they suck.
They still exist. And Lindsay's nephew is a big Man U fan.
What was the one that Rod Stewart had owned or played for or whatever? I'm trying to
played
think.
for a while, but I can't remember which one it was.
I can't remember, but it was probably oh, good Lord.
But didn't he own a team too?
I don't know if he owned one, but
I know the biggest thing I remember about Stewart and his fandoms was he was big into model trains.
Yeah, but I thought him and Elton John back maybe in the late 70s, early 80s or something like that were big with that.
I don't know, but I know
the RuPaul League.
Rod Stewart used to throw out soccer balls and kick them in his concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are very, very few Rod Stewart songs that I can play that my wife will not poke her tongue out and go, ugh. She doesn't like Rod Stewart for some reason. I can't figure
Didn't
out.
like Hot Legs or
No. There are very, very few things that he ever did that she will not find objectionable, to put it politely. No, and I don't know why. I mean, I love quite a lot of his music.
Oh yeah,
not everything, but quite a lot.
One of my favorite songs by him in the when I first started listening to him was of course I like Hot Legs, but Passion was
yeah. And some of the older stuff was Small Faces that had
Ron Wood.
Yes, Ron Wood, the guitar
player,
the Rolling Stones.
Oh, their cover of "I Know I'm Losing You" was brilliant.
Oh yes,
loved it.
I love "Stay With Me." That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, well, they never did a bad song. Small Faces never did a bad song.
If you get on YouTube, there is a little, it's kind of like a concert. It's almost like a midnight special, but it's called Sounds for Saturdays. And it's Rod and Ron and the rest of the Faces on there doing a little mini concert for these people in this studio.
Yeah.
And I think it's not that long. It's less than an hour. So there's probably 6 or 7 songs.
Yeah.
Altogether.
I believe I was sat and watched the entire thing before. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's really good.
There's a smaller radio station in I think Rome, Cartersville, that area, somewhere in that area. It's called 104.9 The Rebel. They play a lot of classic rock. And I just happened to be flipping channels one night as I was driving, and they had a Deep Purple concert where John Lord was just, I mean, he's another one of those keyboard players that's right up there with Keith Emerson and some of the other progressive rock legends. And
there was one I saw tonight while I was waiting on 11 o'clock for stupid clock to start. It was Rick Wakeman.
Yes.
And Brian May.
Yes.
Doing a Yes song. Starship Troopers.
Oh, that'd be good.
And it was not long. It didn't seem to have been recorded long after Rick's heart attack. So he was not going all keyboard god here. He had his son in the background playing some of the more vigorous keyboard parts while he was resting a bit up front. And then when Brian May stepped on stage with the guitar playing the one of the more energetic parts of Starship Troopers, and Rick just kind of waved his son off and go, "I got this." And went to town. And
Mm-hmm.
in full Rick Wakeman, my God, I can play a fucking keyboard mode here.
Yeah.
And it wound up at the end of the video, Brian is inside Rick Wakeman's little circle of keyboards, and
Mm-hmm.
they're standing side by side, back to back, playing stuff off of
Mm-hmm.
each other. And it was just, oh, this is what music is supposed to be. People that know
Yeah.
what they're doing it right now.
Oh yeah.
It was
Well,
fantastic.
did you ever listen to their Union album, Dan, where they had essentially both bands now?
Yeah.
Back then it was Yes and Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe, and
Yep.
just yeah, some of that stuff. Lift Me Up still gives me goosebumps when I hear it.
Oh, and you are familiar with King Crimson, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When
I had to get into King Crimson when I found out that John Wetton was a member of it, and then I started discovering some of their stuff.
Now,
Because I was a big Asia fan.
when Robert Fripp decides he wants to do a new King Crimson album,
Mm-hmm.
old band members will show up and go, "Hey, got something for me?" I mean, they will come out of the woodworks.
Mm-hmm.
You got people from Asia. You got people from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I
Yeah.
mean, you got people from all these major bands that just go, "Oh, right, yeah, I'm in. Oh, we've only got one number for me. Okay, that'll do. I'll be glad to do it." And they just go flat out. I mean,
Well,
seriously.
him and Brian Eno were two of the biggest
I
forces of that
know.
band,
I
weren't
know.
they?
Have you ever listened to Brian Eno's solo stuff?
I think I heard a song a while back when he first did a video for it. This has been years ago because, like I said, this is back when MTV used to play music videos on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. Like I said, I don't
Well,
remember it because there was other stuff I was getting into at the time.
the first 4 or 5 albums that Eno released under his own name,
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless.
Robert Fripp was playing guitar and helping
Mm-hmm.
compose stuff, and there were people from Yes and King Crimson and all kinds of other
Mm-hmm.
bands just guesting in. The basically the first 4 or maybe 5 Brian Eno albums are just King Crimson under another name, and every other track has vocals. Every other track is an instrumental, and it's really amazing stuff for the early 80s, late 70s sort of musical temperament.
This was back in the day when they were really getting into animation for videos, back in the Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, and
Yeah,
it was one of those type videos.
that would have been
That song was cool.
early MTV era, so
We're talking about 85, 86.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
about to say
mid 80s, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the song at the moment, but I remember it was one of those videos that had the animation, and the animation was cool, and the music was. And I'll be honest with you, the only part of Money for Nothing I really like is the long version with the intro with Sting saying "I want my MTV." If you
Yeah,
got that little music intro playing, that's the
yeah,
best part of the whole song to me.
yeah. I meant to say this half an hour ago. Are you fans of oh bugger, aphasia is hitting me again. Tim Curry, his
Tim Curry.
music,
Some of his stuff. Yeah.
Now he's an amazing actor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 4 albums out. One of which I think is a compilation of the greatest hits of the first 3. But it's Tim Curry singing, which you don't get off of musical soundtracks that often.
Yeah.
But there is on YouTube a live concert from Germany where he is playing, I think, everything off of his first album. And he's just standing there singing to this bar full of German folks getting drunk. And he's singing his heart out, everything off of the first album. And they're just sitting there like blasé. Oh yeah. It's that Rocky Horror guy, you know. It's the amount of energy he's giving off versus the amount of energy the audience is giving off is just way out of proportion with each other. But it's still, if you like Tim Curry, it's a wonderful thing to sit and watch, because you get to see him actually perform all the stuff off of the I can't remember the name of the first album now. Well, it
sounds fascinating.
It is just I would say look up Tim Curry on YouTube and go for the live one, the live concert. It's about an hour or so long, maybe a little bit less, because it's only like one album.
Yeah, I was thinking about earlier. I got a little excited when I saw you post "Baby Love" by Mother's Finest, and then he was like, "Y'all probably didn't care for it." And I'm like, "I'll show him."
Read My Lips.
There you go. Thank you.
1977 or 78. 78 maybe. 78 probably, yeah.
Gary, that's pretty cool, picking up an AM radio station while your power was out and finding a couple in Toronto.
Hey, AM radios have batteries.
Yeah. And ironically enough, Laura's 86-year-old dad, who listens to WBBM out of Chicago 24/7, will listen to it on a battery-powered radio, a little AM/FM radio. And over sitting right next to his lift chair is this beautiful, expensive Bose radio that all you got to do is touch the top of it and it'll turn on and off and do all kinds of wonderful, magical things. And he doesn't even pay attention to it. He likes that little battery-powered radio.
Yep. Now, Chris, the reason that I posted that, I was sitting here going through all kinds of YouTube music videos, and I happened to play Fiona Apple, Criminal. And my wife walked in and go, "Oh, I see you're watching porn." That's the last thing I'm going, "That's not porn. I love her voice." And she goes, yeah, well, she's naked. And I'm going, "No, she's not. She's wearing
camisole or something."
Yeah, bodysuit or something like that.
Well, it wasn't a bodysuit. It was
a camisole.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while since I saw it.
We got 2 Joshes here, so one froze up. So anyway,
there we go.
After that, I decided I should probably redeem myself.
Well, Kiri, there is a category of various hits that's referred to as AM Gold. Before FM became popular, a lot of songs, especially late 60s and early 70s, were featured on AM radio.
The oldie goldies.
Oldies, yes.
Yeah, thanks to WLS's 50,000 watt blowtorch, usually in the evenings after about 6, 7 o'clock when the sun would set. I could pick up WLS from Cherokee, North Carolina, and it was
Lord,
and it would be all night long. And
I could pick them up here. And is it wasn't it their competition WGN?
Yeah, well, GN didn't ever play.
No, wait,
they didn't play music at that time, but
which was the one from Terre Haute?
I don't know. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah.
I remember WLS, and I remember another one that was coming out of Terre Haute, Indiana, and they were both just super overpowered after dark.
Yeah. My my alma mater, Georgia State, had, if not the first, one of the first completely student-run radio stations in the country, and 100,000 watts, pretty.
That'll go quite a ways.
Yeah, Album 88. They started focusing on in their early days alternative, college, REM, that B-52s, that kind of stuff.
Look at the X coming out of Mexico with Wolfman Jack playing. I mean, good grief. Broadcast across most of North America that way.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of our radio station. Like I said, don't always care for some of the music they play, but the fact that it's completely student run and got 100,000 watts, that's impressive.
The University of Georgia student radio station decided on April Fool's Day they were going to lock the doors so that no faculty could come and stop them, and they played Kraftwerk's Autobahn for about 8 hours over and over and over again.
We had a radio station that was changing formats, and they weren't letting people know what they were going to do, so they would change day to day what they would play. And on April Fool's Day, they played Christmas music all day long.
We had one that was going to go through that same kind of change, and in November they were a classic rock station. In December they played nothing but Christmas carols. 24/7, nothing but Christmas carols. And then on or about New Year's Day, they went to all talk radio, and nobody ever listened to them ever again.
Yeah. Which I love talk radio, but when it starts cutting out a lot of music stations, and we don't have a whole ton around here to choose from that are really decent. And we got a classic rock one out of Champaign called WKIO. And I may have mentioned this before, but they are doing a thing every Sunday night at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I forget which. And they got a program called Loco KIO. And what it is all the groups that came from this area, not from Chicago, but downstate Illinois. So, Cheap Trick, Head East, REO Speedwagon, even the group Champaign, that is spelled like the city of Champagne and not the drink, and tons of other ones that were local around here that everybody knew going to the clubs in Champaign back in the 70s and 80s, but maybe people down where you're at don't hear. And so they do this 2 hours every Sunday night. They started this program by getting a hold of as many of the people to send them the tapes. And on 4th of July, they did 7 hours. They did a repeat, added more musical content, did an 11-hour program, which was wonderful. I heard things that I haven't heard in 30, 40 years from little concerts I went to, or going to this club or that club over down in Campus Town on Green Street in Champaign. And so they got such a positive feedback from it that they started doing this every week on Sunday nights, and every once in a while it'll kind of filter down throughout the week a little bit here and there, but they stick it to a 2-hour show on Sunday evenings, and it's so refreshing. And to hear some of the and you hear some of these groups and you think, damn, why didn't they do more than what they did just locally?
Well, a lot of it happens to be whatever's popular at the time. And,
there was a group called Ship that might have not been as popular as REO Speedwagon or even Champagne or Cheap Trick or whatever, but they did have some hits nationwide, and I've heard their music before, and for the longest time I never knew they were from this area. And then you hear the disc jockeys talking, and they do a little backstory on some of these local groups, and they say, this is when I was playing with this band, and then they used to be the warm up for REO or whatever, Head East, whatever group. But yeah, it's a wonderful 2-hour program on Sunday nights, and like I say, it's called Local KIO. That's done on WKIO. Anyway, I need to kind of jump in while everybody, and I'll wait till Chris gets back. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to bug out of here. I almost didn't make it to either show tonight. I had an issue with my ulcers, and I got a couple other things going on, and this cough which is just a normal thing for me. But that's why I have a Batman mug full of peppermints when I get into one of those coughing fits. But
it's ragweed season.
Oh God, it's everything. And supposedly I'm not allergic to a blessed thing in the world, but I need to get retested on a few things. And because I got some sinus drainage and some other things going on that they're just trying to shove meds at me to take, and antihistamines and pills and stuff, and none of them's working.
Are you sure that's peppermint?
Yeah, it is. These are the.
It's big.
It's a bag that comes as big as a pillow from Sam's Club. Laura got it for me. I swear, I put them in the door panels of my car. I got a big old glass jar in the kitchen full of them, and I still got a big thing of it like this yet.
It sounds like you came back from Mexico.
Oh God.
We
were talking about the water earlier.
I would pretty much have to unwrap them and stuff them in a pillowcase in order to be able to breathe at night.
God.
Oh Lord, I have had allergy problems since I was a kid. So
yeah, me too.
Well, but I was glad I was able to get in here. I was actually doing okay. I had to go out and run a couple errands today. My niece is turning 13 next month, so they deemed that this was her last year of going out trick or treating. They're saying we're cutting it off at 12, and she's theoretically a teenager, but which is hard to believe because I held her when she was a little teeny tiny baby. And
isn't that your decision to make whether or not she's going to keep on trick or treating?
Well, it seemed to be her mom's, and she's acting like she's going with it, but we'll find out next year. But until then, Uncle Bill made up a special trick or treat bag like he does every year, but I put extra stuff in the bag, and which actually one of them, the little gag gift things, that got a little light up jack-o'-lantern necklace that I usually buy something of that sort for every year. And I was at Walgreens getting my meds today, and I picked up a bunch of stuff from there, and the dang lights only are half of them are working, so I got to take that thing back tomorrow before stuff gets sold out and try to find one that works.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I got to. I laid down for about 2 hours tonight and waiting for the meds to kick in, and then got feeling better enough to be on both shows. But I am going to have to back out right now. But say goodnight to the three of you, and then Carrie and Ace and anybody else out there. Good night to all of you, and hopefully we'll see some people in the green room on Friday, and if not, we'll see you week after next on Stupid O'Clock.
You take care, Bill.
Yep.
Bye, Candias, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
you. Bye-bye.
Yep. See ya.
Get you some rest.
And this, if there is a green room Friday night, it's going to be a special one of a kind green room live from Hallowcon.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Can the hotel Wi-Fi support 15 people going, I want to talk now? Probably
I don't know, but if you're doing it on your phone and you get
Chris, can you see how much a ticket is from Tuscaloosa to nearest airport over there?
Hang on. I don't know if I got flights to Dalton or not. Chattanooga might be the closest place.
It might be quicker just to drive instead of fly.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean,
I can't drive, so
considering airport check-ins and stuff. But hey, you got a teenager somewhere, even if you got to rent one.
Yeah, I got my little buddy down here.
Flying anywhere these days is getting to be damn.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't even think about how much fuel is going to cost.
Well, I mean, no matter how much gasoline costs to drive, it's still going to be cheaper than a damn airplane.
Well, that's what I was saying, fuel on the airplane.
Let's see. Tuscaloosa to Chattanooga nonstop is 46 minutes from $159 on Delta.
That really ain't that bad.
No. Yeah, that's from Atlanta to Chattanooga.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you got to drive to Atlanta and go to Chattanooga.
How far away are you from Birmingham?
Say an hour.
Well, I don't know.
Drive.
$259.
Yeah.
I don't think an airplane ticket's going to be worth
No.
the aggravation of getting through an airport.
Hey, what about a train?
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Only trains come through here as cargo, so I wouldn't have thought of it. No, seriously, unless you want to hobo your way.
Well,
hop a freight, yeah. Oh, Kiri, just because we got quiet for a second.
Train tickets start at just $17.
Whoa. That's better than a Greyhound.
And, a lot better.
And a train won't take 4 days to get 5 miles.
Oh, good grief. That's Birmingham Station to Madison Station. Madison's Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Step 2. You ain't gonna get that by clicking here. They want you to take a car from Madison to Chattanooga. That ain't no good.
Yeah, really. Like there's going to be an Uber driver willing to make that one.
You'd be surprised.
For a $5 tip? No.
A $50 tip.
Hey, for $50, Joe Dog will come and get you.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh Lord.
From Tuscaloosa to Chattanooga.
This might be get my neighbor to drive. Pay him $50.
Hey.
Are you really looking up Uber?
I'm actually looking up a bus, Greyhound bus from Alabama to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We could pick you up there. Wait a minute. We got Greyhound service in Dalton. Let's see if it can go from Tuscaloosa to Dalton.
Yeah, it's got to go from Tuscaloosa to Atlanta to Savannah.
Yeah, about 5 different stuff.
It takes 3 days to get 15 miles.
Let me look it up first.
And it goes through 14 different states.
And they wonder why. I ain't even gonna get into it, but
they keep talking about putting in high-speed rail.
Yeah, infrastructure.
In the Southeast. No, you got to redo the railroad tracks that would be carrying passenger. You can't run passenger cars on a freight line.
Nope.
Because the rails do not get the kind of upkeep you need to ensure passenger safety. And every little bitty town wants a whistle stop in order to let the high-speed rail go through, which means high-speed rail don't mean anything if you got to stop every 15 miles.
Okay, Josh, when are you wanting to leave? Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
All right. And coming back on Sunday?
Hell, I don't care when I come back. Whenever I'm sober.
Going to take a freight too.
That may be Monday.
Yeah.
All the way to
We'll make it
Georgia,
Monday.
yeah. Don't care when I'm coming back.
I'd have to stay with Dan for a few days.
Well, we're trying to get rid of the fleas from the dog. We ain't got a big couch to sleep on, but I got a really comfortable lazy boy.
Unfortunately, there is no travel option. Well, let's try Chattanooga.
I think I've done looked this up before.
What you do is you'd book a flight from Tuscaloosa to Atlanta to Chattanooga and then start thumbing.
No, I'll just get my little buddy over here just to drive. He's into the Hallowcons and stuff like that. So
You know, there has been a lot of talk about where America needs more mass transit, but what we've got is mass transit. It's just not very efficient. You can start in your driveway and wind up wherever you want to go without having to change vehicles. It's just not very
efficient.
I mean, personal vehicles are really great things. It's just the roadways that we've got are geared towards, well, I hate to say rush hour traffic, but that's what it is. And when you're trying to bypass all that, you wind up on the roads. What, your computer crash?
No, I put in Dalton. Damn thing changed it. Frickin' Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Way to go from Dalton.
Yeah, that's even worse.
That Uber driver gonna be making some money.
I've actually made that. I've made that flight. That's worse. But yeah, I mean, our regional airport here.
Yeah, well,
they fly to Pensacola and other regional airports.
It's too bad they don't have one to Chattanooga or Dalton. Dalton's got a very small airport. It's more suited for Cessnas and Learjets than it is the big craft. Chattanooga's got a decent airport, but it doesn't have a whole lot of connections or direct flights. And usually you got to transfer through Atlanta to get there.
If you're going to hell, you've got to go through Atlanta first.
Yeah, you got to go to Hartford.
No. The old joke is to get to heaven, you got to change planes at Hartsfield. I'm sure the same goes for those going to hell too.
Although believe it or not, during 9/11, Bush refueled here in Tuscaloosa. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I'm sure they kept it quiet till after the fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The Atlanta Heartless Airport, because believe me, they are.
Yeah.
Once you enter those grounds, you are just another piece of meat.
Yeah.
And they don't give a damn whether you live, breathe, eat shit, or die. As long as you move through the line and say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yeah.
Yep.
The people mover trains, Josh, back a long time ago. I don't know if you ever watched the original Battlestar Galactica series.
Why did I know you were going to say that?
But the voice that they had now on the 2-part episode about Gun on Ice Planet Zero, they had the normal Cylon Centurions that were silver plated, but they had one that was gold plated that had a slightly different voice. Well, the voice they used for the gold plated one was the one they had for the people mover trains in the airport. And I remember it saying in that voice of the Golden Centurion, "Please move to the center of the vehicle and away from the doors."
Ping!
Yep. But it was cool. And my mom's cousin took me there when I was little and let me ride the train for a few hours to keep us entertained. It was cheap entertainment for her and us.
I have been trying to get from Atlanta to Albuquerque several times, and I either have to go through Dallas or Denver or both.
Yeah.
Pray you never have a layover in Denver.
That's about to say.
Yeah.
Because if you do, when you get off your plane and you need to go and get on your connecting flight, you need to be at a dead run for the exact opposite end of the airport just as soon as you set foot on the ground. Because it will leave like 5 minutes after your plane lands. Your connecting flight will take off. So you've got to run the entire way. Thank God it's a teeny tiny little airport.
Well,
I've seen shopping malls that were bigger.
You talking about Denver, or are you talking about
Denver? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the creepy ass paintings and everything else.
Well, the thing about
I didn't have time to see any of that shit. I was too busy trying to get my damn plane.
Well, when was this? Was this before they moved to the new airport, or was this the old Stapleton Airport?
That's what I was about to ask. The big airport now.
The one that looked like a bunch of teepees.
I can't remember if that's Stapleton or the new one.
That sounds like the old one.
Yeah, I think that was old Stapleton Airport. I'm actually surprised if your flight was on Delta that you didn't go through Salt Lake City, because that's another hub of Deltas.
I paid extra to avoid Salt Lake City. Thank you.
Okay, that's understandable, but you know.
I would have paid extra to avoid Denver and
DFW
Dallas. If there had been a direct flight to Albuquerque, I freaking would have paid an extra $1,000 to get on it. But no, they didn't have one.
Oh, that was your flight to get to Lindsay, wasn't it?
No, Lindsay.
Oh, you drove to that one, didn't you?
Lindsay got on a Greyhound bus and rode for 3 days to get to me.
Oh, wow.
I went to Albuquerque to go to Socorro to help Lindsay's oldest daughter move out of New Mexico.
Yeah.
DFW is it's just as bad as Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah, it's just about like Atlanta, except the trains have more scenery.
Yeah.
Atlanta isn't that bad to navigate to me. The biggest pain in the ass to navigate airport wise is O'Hare.
Mm.
Because
I'll
the
take your
shit's scattered all over the damn.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'll take your word
And
for it. Atlanta is not hard to navigate.
mhm.
It's just, you know, I don't see any reason why an airport has to be 55 million miles wide. I mean, you could basically walk to Saturn inside the Atlanta airport.
Well, the thing
If you knew
about
where the door was to get out,
that the
It's an international airport.
it's an
well,
intergalactic airport, believe me.
the thing about Hartsfield is they've got most of their stuff in one terminal.
Yep.
You have a north terminal and a south terminal that's connected together, and the concourses are connected to them. And you
Mhm.
got them in sequential order. Whereas other ones, you might have terminals all over the place. Like
Yeah.
take Kansas City International, for example.
Well, I was about to say the same way Birmingham is. I mean,
Well,
They've got 3 different terminals, and you have to travel to each one of them if you're on one plane from one company and you're getting on a plane from another company. You got to go to another terminal.
now
yeah, I was gonna
we
say
have
yeah.
gone to Atlanta to the third terminal for a flight to London.
Yeah, that's the international concourse. It's the furthest one from the because you
Mhm.
got the A concourse, the B concourse, the C
And
concourse, the D concourse. E concourse is the international one, and they added terminal gates for the T concourse that's connected directly to the terminals. All the other ones are out from the main terminal.
we didn't really have any problem with international. It's just trying to go inside the damn country that it gets complicated.
Well, yeah, and the thing I hate about O'Hare, other than it's spread out all over the daggum place, is you have to walk or travel all the way from that to wherever you're going to get to the. In our instance, we rode the L train to our hotel at the time,
Hmm.
and it took forever to get to it.
Well,
And when you're on approach to O'Hare, you feel like you're circling a toilet going down the drain,
Well,
just
you back
constantly.
you
You
back
just bang,
accurate.
you are.
Yes, you are.
and like I said, I don't like O'Hare. I've heard a lot of people from that area say they would much prefer traveling out of Midway if at all possible.
Well, I've heard people complain about how big the Atlanta airport is, and I go, excuse me, it's larger than the state of Rhode Island.
Mhm.
It's only 3,700 square acres.
Like I said,
I think Rhode Island's a little bit bigger than that. Not
oh,
much,
oh
but
come
Not
on,
much, yeah.
my mom's farm is bigger than Rhode Island.
well, San Bernardino County in California is as big as the state of Connecticut.
But
That's
yeah,
one county.
it's about like going to Newark or O'Hare. I mean, any of them up that way.
Well,
And
I haven't been
I
to
would
New York
mention Rhode
City.
Island. Now I'm thinking about uh, Cthulhu mythos stories and H.P. Lovecraft. I wish I would not make these connections in my head, but I am a writer.
Well, now I keep thinking about Slim Pickens riding that damn missile.
Hey, he was not willing to put up with Delta doing their
But
TSA checks, is what it is. Fuck y'all, I ride this nuclear bomb home.
It seemed like he was happy to be on it too.
Hey, frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, problem is once you get to your destination, you ain't leaving.
No, but you go out with a bang.
Yeah, but damn, what a way to do it.
Well, sometimes the only way to go is to make a point when you get there.
Yeah, that's true. But
Even if when you get there no longer exists 5 minutes after you got there.
yeah,
Uh,
well,
good old Boeing 737.
When it absolutely, totally has to be totally destroyed overnight.
yeah,
Call the Air Force.
yeah. Or as the Army likes to say, the military's country club.
Mm.
Mm. Or as Biden likes to say, we don't care about who we're taking out. So
Biden's lucky if he knows
what he's saying.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
I hate it for him. I hate it, but all we gotta do is hope that things don't get worse. And that's all I have to say about that.
Just hope we make it 2 more years, 2.5 more years.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've told people from both sides of the aisle. I said, we survived this president, we survived that president. All we gotta do is have a little faith and do the best we can while we can.
That's all we can do.
Yep.
So,
But I am looking forward to Hallowcon. It is almost upon us. And if you find a way to make it there, Josh, I will be excited to meet you in person.
well, brother, I will. I'm telling you, I will make my neighbor drive me over there if I have to. I don't know if he's got to work or not, but because he done started a new job himself. So
The way things are looking right now, the chili cook-off is going to be me and John in the con suite going, this one's kosher, this one ain't.
well, mine ain't gonna be kosher if I
Well,
go.
Neither is mine. That's the problem because I
I
I
asked
use
Joe
sausage
about it.
instead of ground beef. So
I asked Joe about it. He said, y'all doing it in a room party? I'm like, what? He said, whatever happens in room parties, your own damn business. I ain't got to be involved with it.
well, no. Thursday night he said, "Listen, if it's just John and Dan, we might have to move this to the con suite and just let everybody in on it."
Okay.
So he banned me from it.
Well, we didn't think you were coming.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think he banned you. I think he
I just
thought you were
playing.
not going to be well enough to attend.
Yeah, I
But
know.
you have been under the weather for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we worry about you.
Yeah. And while I do know where the local hospital, which isn't far away by the way, I don't want to have to take you there or get somebody to take you there.
Yeah, I don't want to end up there either. So that's the main thing. So,
but like I said, God forbid if it ever comes to that, I at least know where it is.
well, that's good to know. So,
but we're going to focus on whoever's there having as much fun as we can and making sure people know that aren't there, they need to be there next time.
oh yeah,
Yep.
most definitely.
I'm looking forward to having a great time, and I'm looking forward to sitting at a vendor's table with Michaela and hoping that she sells out of every book she brings.
Dan,
that would be nice.
When's Liberty Con, Dan? Or did you say it was already sold out?
It is.
Yeah, and that's with the extra 250 memberships that were available that weren't rollovers from the last 2 years.
And
it is
the last time
late
it sold
June.
out in 29 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay.
And we were counting it down, weren't we?
Yep.
Lord have mercy. That now, look, it's a great convention, but it's not like King Midas is going to hand over the golden touch to everybody that shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's fun, but you know,
That's not.
can we just sell out in like 3 weeks, not half an hour?
Well, I mean, I was trying to get a comparison of like LibertyCon to Hallowcon. Like,
Okay, Hallowcon is going to be 10% of the
more,
size of LibertyCon.
it's more like laid back. Mm.
No,
It's
they're
more like,
equally laid back,
yeah.
and a
Okay.
lot of the same people will be there. It's just there's a difference between 100 people, 150 people, and 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the thing about Liberty is there are New York Times best-selling authors as well as Amazon best-selling authors, and some of them
And
have
me.
quite loyal, fervent fans
Hmm.
that are in attendance.
But and seriously, besides the writers and the artists and the scientists, um, it's like a family reunion, basically.
Yeah,
Once you
there.
once you've gone to more than 2 LibertyCons,
Yeah,
you're in for life. Basically, you are our weird cousin that we really love, but we wish you'd behave. Uh, okay, no, so maybe that's a class just for me, but
there is another area convention called Chattacon.
same bunch of people run it or involved in it, whether or not they're
Yeah,
running it or not.
yeah. Well,
And
Casey told me she's going to be back in charge of gaming this year, so
I have heard rumors that somebody's going to try and resurrect Anachrocon in Atlanta, which would be weird because
yeah,
that has closed its doors permanently, as far as I know. And everybody that was really heavily invested in that has gone
hmm
to what is it? Atlanta Steampunk Expo.
yeah. Well, it's taking over the same weekend, and that's
Well,
Bill's.
it's a yeah, and Bill, yeah, it's almost the same bunch of people, uh,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah. It's just not the main ones that are no longer an item. The
Um,
Nacrocon.
shall we not go there, please? Because
Yeah, yeah.
that's there.
We won't go anymore. I will say no more about it. But
Mm,
It would
anyway,
be. Well, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it'd be a more intimate setting.
a Nacrocon is more steampunk and
it was
would you say SCA?
it was a alternate history sort of thing by the end there. It
Okay.
kind of evolved from being strictly steampunk at the beginning. Um, it had some uh, difficulties in the administration that became inescapably apparent after a few years.
Yeah.
And then it reformed, and the inescapable became escapable. But there were enormously expensive contracts signed, which pretty much gutted
Screwed it.
it really, if it hadn't been for those contracts, smaller hotels would have done just fine. But there were these long term things that had been signed that pretty much killed the budget forever.
And sealed the fate of it
Hmm.
in the long run.
Yep.
Um.
And it was a great bunch of folks.
Yep.
Not only the Concom, but the attendees.
Yeah.
It was enormous, great bunch of folks. There were some difficulties that were better left un, unannounced, publicized, talked about,
Yeah.
and they had been overcome by the last couple of years. But the long term contracts really just sealed the fate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you don't have if you sign expensive hotel contracts, if you don't have like huge attendance numbers, it will drag you down.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Especially with an Atlanta hotel that's going to
Yeah.
charge you $250 for a water station.
Yeah.
No, if you don't reach your limits on whatever you sign.
Well, the thing is, it was supposed to be a teeny tiny con to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people showed up, and a lot of people showed up, and a lot of people showed up. And it kind of
Spiral.
well, it didn't need to be in as huge a hotel as it wound up being. Smaller hotels would have been able to handle it.
Yeah.
But those hotels would have been sold out for that weekend.
Yeah.
And, there are lots of hotels in Atlanta that would go, hey, over here, pick me. But no, a larger hotel chain was given a contract that was unrealistic.
Yeah. And there are literally, if you go to the Southern Fandom Convention Guide, there are literally more conventions than you can possibly attend in a year.
Oh, Lord.
much less a month.
If you had nothing else to do, you'd still have to skip some of them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them happen the same weekends.
Yeah. And you basically, you find the people that you're comfortable with and you go see them, and there's probably some new faces that get brought in every year because you generally have people that have been there like for a long time, and you have people that come in fresh every year, and you have some that come and go. They're there for a while, they leave for a while, they come back, and it's just about every convention has those types of people.
The Chattanooga convention family is huge.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they have lots and lots of different conventions they can spread themselves out on. But you do tend to run into the same core people.
Yes.
Every time, no matter what the hotel it is, you're going to go, oh, wait, I know you. Yeah, you do.
And the fandom has remained relatively untoxic, shall we say?
Stable was the word I was going to go for. But,
yeah, but that works just as good because there are some fandoms that are
speaking of toxic,
at odds.
Speaking of toxic, there's another convention that's going to happen our weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
even want to know.
I don't want to nickname it Toxic Con, but that's where the toxic things go.
There are two other.
Shall we not get specific so we don't get sued?
Yeah, there are two other fandom conventions going on the weekend that we're having Hallowcon. One of them is in Knoxville, and the other is in Nashville.
I think I know the one that's in Nashville. So,
the one in Knoxville is going to have William Shatner. You can imagine how much more expensive his autograph's going to be now that he's been in space.
Yeah, the old Shatner.
Yeah, well.
The last I heard, he was charging $200 for his autograph.
I don't even want his autograph on a blank check.
Because it's probably somebody else's check. And he's trying to lose his money.
It's probably
but yeah, I'm going to do some more prep work at the hotel tomorrow. Well, hell, it is tomorrow, but later on today.
I did get my email from the hotel, and
Yeah.
it did confirm that I get the special room.
Oh, can I come stay in the special room?
Well, it was one that I asked for, and Chris made sure that I got.
Yes, I've done my best to accommodate everyone's request, and if I can't accommodate them, I'm sorry. I did the best I could do.
Yep.
You should have reserved your room earlier.
I know.
I did get the refrigerator and the microwave, but the dancing girls I have to pay extra for.
Yes.
If I didn't have all that health shit going on, I would have.
Josh, it's okay.
I know.
You got to take care of your health. I mean, if you don't take care of you, we're not going to be able to see you, and we'd rather much have you around for a long, long time. So you do what you need to do. Because as much as if you aren't able to make it, we will miss you, but we will much rather have you healthier, happier, and safer the next time.
Oh yeah.
Really? We'd rather have you available for future stupid o'clocks and last man standing than have to attend your funeral.
Yes.
So take care of yourself, my brother.
Yep.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Well, if that happens to come about, and God forbid, if it does, I want all y'all here in Tuscaloosa and drink a beer for me. So
Ain't no problem about that. We can toast to your memory, but we'd rather toast your health.
yes, please.
Much rather.
But
yeah, we gotta have
well,
you.
yeah, let's say we'll think about that later on. But
and if you need pallbearers, I can drive a forklift.
There
you
go.
Well, we won't worry about that right now because
Lord no.
I've had enough funerals here the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't even intend to attend my own. I shall be in the Philippines somewhere, or Jamaica. There we go. I'm going to tell everybody I'm moving to Jamaica, but I'll wind up in Alaska, hiding from the feds.
No, I done told you, me and you going Jamaica, man. Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man.
Hell, we all might need to go to Jamaica.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have them make sure I'm rolled in late to my own funeral.
Best way.
Yeah.
I have threatened Lindsay if they don't do it right, I'm going to bartend. Whiskey sour coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a zombie? Look around you.
Oh man. Yeah,
hey, I got a joke now. I won't be able to then.
Yeah, I got to think up something clever for mine, but I don't know what other than ask them to make sure I get wheeled in late.
Well, if you're cremated, you can have your ashes put in an hourglass so you can still join family game night. It's a timer. That ain't no 3 minutes.
I had an old coworker. He's no longer with the company. Remind me to tell you about his sick idea when we're at Hallowcon. I'm not going to do that over the air.
Okay. This is going to be one of those hallway stories that we wish we could broadcast.
I was about to say
Hey,
This guy could say the craziest, most outlandish crap and still manage to keep a straight face.
I wonder where he got that from.
I don't know, but if he was worth the shit at playing poker, he needed to be on the World Poker Tour because he could keep a straight face.
Oh Lord! Just don't get me near a pool table, please.
We don't have one at the hotel, thank God.
Thank God. I really don't want to come home with everybody else's money.
Oh, I wouldn't be playing for money, but I'd be playing all the damn time.
I'll play for money.
Only until I take it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, they closed the pool, but like Joe said, that's one liability we don't need.
Oh yeah, the swimming pool. Yeah, yeah.
We don't need no women busting their heads.
No.
Women. I think the ladies are usually the more sensible ones. Usually it's the guys that go stupid on it.
We don't need any people of any gender getting plastered, falling in there and drowning.
Yeah. They're breaking their neck or
no matter how good looking a zombie they might become. No.
Yeah. The pasty skin and rotting flesh just doesn't hold that much attraction for me.
Yeah, we don't live in Florida.
Now, goth chicks are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, 51-year-old grandmother in the Princess Leia Gold.
Oh yeah, I figured you'd appreciate that.
Well, I do have a thing for younger girls, but she was definitely fit.
Oh yeah, I was just like, damn. I know some guys that appreciate this, and possibly a few gals.
I appreciate it a lot. And I'm a younger guy.
Well, you know that song, "Older Women Make Good Lovers."
That's right. Oh, read your boys.
Unfortunately, we're not teenagers anymore, so we can't.
No, but that. Well, as Ben Franklin said, the older ones appreciate it more if they're so inclined to be predisposed to want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you have the problem of winding up in their memoirs.
Well, some of them are discreet.
Voice of experience.
Some of them are discreet. Others don't give a shit.
Others are quadraphonic.
Well, you heard the old joke, don't you? 3 forms of communication: telephone, telegram, telewoman.
Yes.
Of course, there's some guys that could apply to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe the last one should have been telegossip.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy. I was about to say, guy tell more shit.
That's non-gender specific.
It depends on the subject and how interested they are in it.
Believe me, if I ever have a secret I want everybody to know, all I got to do is walk in the break room at work and tell one person and say, "Look, don't say nothing about this."
And everybody's gonna know it.
Within 15 minutes, everybody within 5 light years is going to know.
Yep.
Kerry, it is interesting. It could be disruptive, or it could be fun. I think it's about time they buried the hatchet and not in each other.
Yeah, I agree. But also,
and I think it's more of a one-sided thing than it is Shatner not liking him.
I really don't know, but I thought from previous reading that they were going to be scheduled for 2 different days.
Yeah.
So,
or they could have them in different
one
rooms.
one would be there for 2 days, and the next one would be there for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
That's the way I understood it, but plans get changed all the
Yeah.
time.
Well,
Older women.
You saw Shatner's reply
Make
about George's
beautiful.
latest mean tweets, didn't you?
I don't pay any attention to that shit.
Oh, he just said, "I don't hate George. He says I cost him 30 years ago, or however many years ago, 30 extra seconds of screen time and stuff like that. And the only time he gets any press release when he talks bad about me."
Like I said, I don't pay any damn
Yeah,
attention.
I know. I was just replying to Kiri's comment.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they worked things out. Like I said, I don't think Shatner's really got any hate for George to him, but Takei, I don't know whether it's just a publicity stunt or he really feels all that. And who knows? It's hard to tell the hearts and minds of everyone.
We know writers like that. Actually, we can't tell whether they're saying things to get publicity or whether they're saying things because that's what they actually think.
And the same way with any celebrity, really. It could be actor trying to generate buzz for an upcoming role or something like that by saying something to get them in the spotlight. It could be a musician trying to generate interest towards their next album or single or whatever.
Well, here's to me not having anybody get interested in my shit because I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else.
Well, the reason to get interested in your shit's to talk to you, get to know you, and I need to try that out and see what the hell it's all about.
Well, that's one of the benefits of this sort of program is he sounds like he can really tell a story. Let me see what he writes. And I'm going, that's exactly why I do this. Besides the fact that I have fun with all the people that I'm on air with. And I'm a natural born smartass, and sometimes I do say things that are inappropriate, which I try and say for the green room, but sometimes they're just too good to wait till Friday night.
Well, you know what I like to say, don't you, Dan? There's assholes, and then there's our kind of assholes. And knowing the difference between the two counts.
Hopefully, I'm included in some favorable group.
Oh yeah, like I said, I have no problems with you, Dan. I enjoy talking with you about God knows whatever besides music.
Oh Lord. You and I could probably have a music show just ourselves. It would go on for like 6 hours a day, every day, and never cover the same group twice.
I don't know about that, but we would have enough variety along with the stuff we've already discussed before to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard not to come up with Yes or King Crimson or Asia or some of the other obvious ones.
Some of the stuff I actually linked to tonight from when I was watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Any of the Frank Zappa stuff, check it out because it went down memory lane here, and I was tripping over my own feet trying to get things going here and go. Oh, this is neat. This is neat. So.
Did you ever watch Dweezil Zappa's video for his cover of "My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama"?
Yeah, I did. And
I love that video.
When
it's got Mamie Van Doren in it.
When it was fairly new, actually, because his dad had not long passed away.
Actually, I think it was before his dad passed away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it came out in the late 80s, early 90s, before his dad passed.
Yeah.
It was like 88.
But it was cool because it had Mamie Van Doren in it. If I'm not mistaken, it had Robert Wagner in it.
Lord.
Because I think he was the detective. And it had I think it was another actor from some of the Greaser films that was the father.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of another video. It had a little bit similar along the lines. You remember the video for Infatuation? Rod Stewart?
I remember. Yeah, I remember Rod Stewart.
Remember, it had the older guy that was the detective
Mm-hmm.
while he was being the voyeur in the video. Of course, the cool thing about that was him and Jeff Beck were talking again.
Yeah.
Not Jeff Beck.
I hate it when musicians fall out, but
yeah,
that they like any sort of artist, they do have a right to have
differences of opinion.
well, I was going to say fragile egos, but
Yeah, that too. But the cool thing was he was in that video, and I think People Get Ready, their cover of it was I think it was before that. That's another good video, by the way.
I do want to do another trip down memory lane music video thing on Facebook where I'm posting lots and lots and lots of Alice Cooper because I can't think of very many artists that I respect more than I do Alice. I mean, good grief, the man has done some
smart,
amazing stuff.
And I heard that he had like Halloween stencils you could download from his website for free to use for like pumpkin carving and all sorts of stuff.
And he's also just signed a deal with the company is doing a um, uh, one of those like Cards Against Humanity games.
Okay.
With cards. I'm not sure about the Cards Against Humanity, but it looked like that same sort of concept. So
I think he had a game that was revolving around Halloween. It might have been the same people. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the original movie version of his Welcome to My Nightmare concert with Vincent Price as a guest star?
No, I need to check that out though.
Oh, it would be on point for Hallowcon, believe me. It'd be beautiful, but it was done, I think, in the late '70s or thereabouts as a TV special. So it would be a little bit tame, and the special effects would be, no CGI, all correct. So,
I know a lot of people give it a, just dismiss it because it's kind of cheesy, but I really enjoyed Kiss's Phantom at the Park.
Oh, yeah. Phantom of the Theme Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, quick question.
Okay.
Do y'all have copyrights at Hallowcon?
You talking about like for movies?
Music.
Not that I'm aware of because we're not broadcasting it.
Yeah, as long as it's not going out online, I don't see how it would violate somebody's copyright to play.
We played music before, but like I said, it's just I think as long as you're not.
I was about to say, I mean, y'all could do. Well, just coming to my head now. Y'all could do a podcast, not live, but do it
to the convention.
Yeah, and just pre-record it and then put it out.
I don't know if that will work because we are still broadcasting it, even though it isn't live. But I
Yeah,
know
you might could get away with doing stuff for the convention, but
yeah,
as soon as you put it online, then you run into copyright problems.
yeah, and the thing is, YouTube's very meticulous about. They might not catch you right away, but they will catch you because they're on the lookout for stuff like that, and they've got people on the lookout for stuff like that because they don't want to get sued either.
Oh,
Well,
they've even asked me about copyright for my own stuff,
Yeah,
and I go, "Excuse me, read the name. This is my material."
yeah, and we've done stuff before. Like we've had for our 16th year, we did a Sweet 16 dance party at Hallowcon, and then we've also done a karaoke contest. We did a lip sync contest.
Guys, we're going up on 3 hours now.
I don't know. I was getting ready to bring it to a close because it's almost 4 o'clock here. And
Yeah, I don't have the it's almost the end of a show video here that I can play, but
yeah,
we're like 2 minutes away from 3 hours, which is not our record, but it's
yeah.
still.
hey, we can
I
keep
don't intend on tying our record
Hey,
anytime.
we can keep going.
No, we can't. I've got shit I've got to do tomorrow.
Yeah, me
My
too. I
wife
still got
needs
to
new
get
tail
stuff.
lights. I've got to crawl into her trunk and figure out how to take out all the armor inside the trunk and get to the tail light assembly to take it out.
Yeah,
I wish it would
I'll
let
come
me
over
back.
there and do it.
What was our record? Kiri, uh, I think we did a
It was
5.
after 5 a.m.
I think we did a 5+ hour broadcast, and then again within a week. Um, I
Yeah,
believe I
that was
believe
you.
it was, I
That was
believe
you,
it was Brian
you
came
and Bill.
went ahead and did 5 hours and at least 10 or 20 minutes longer than we did just to break
Mm,
our record. Now, it wasn't anything deliberate, it just
Mm,
happened.
mm, mm, mm.
yeah.
If Brian can
We,
do
we,
no, Brian can do no wrong except in Cookie's eyes, okay?
yeah.
But the longer a show goes on, the less likely that people are going to rewatch it
Yeah.
after we're finished.
And
So two
the
two hours is a 2 hours is a very good show, and people will tune into that for replays. If it gets longer than 2 hours, the less likely we're going to get people that are willing to invest that much time in listening to a bunch of old farts talk.
and they have other stuff that they may want to see too that they didn't catch the first time around. So we're depriving them of getting that seen as well. So
Well, like this week when I was at work on night shift and I couldn't watch anything all week live. I had to catch every show that I love to watch on repeats, and
it
sometimes
might have
it's
been
hard to
Curie.
schedule.
It might have been. I'm not sure. It
Uh,
was probably about that time though.
I don't know when Parlicon was.
It was in August. I think it was around the
Oh Lord,
13th
yeah,
or
that
something
that
like
sounds about right.
that. Yeah.
Um, we're not here to set any world breaking records like Brian has promised to do if he gets his 1,000 subscribers by
Yeah.
Halloween, and do a 12-hour broadcast. And I'm going, dude, do you know how much coffee you're going to have to drink
Oh,
to do
God.
that?
Can you imagine him going on for that long with that energy level, keeping that energy level? That's why he said he was going to bring some people in.
I cannot imagine him doing anything without keeping that energy level. He's just that naturally manic, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I I don't think he can calm down.
Yeah. Well, Kerry, me and Dan just happened to be on one about music that night, and
Oh,
we lost track of time because we were enjoying it so much.
yeah, you get me and Chris talking about music, and it can go on for hours and hours and hours, and we're not even playing videos talking about what we're talking about. We just, hey, remember this? Oh yeah, and that reminds me, and it just keeps on going. It keeps on going. It keeps on going. It's like the Energizer Bunny with jumper cords instead of jumper cables instead of batteries. I mean, that bugger just keeps on thumping the drum. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we have to shut our brains off from music to keep from going on when that happens.
Oh Lord, and it's impossible for me to shut my brain off about.
Well, I'm not saying permanently, just long enough to end the show.
Oh Lord, I can't even keep my brain off of music long enough to end a sentence. All right, it's 3 hours and 2 minutes, guys. Let's say goodnight and let the good people of Earth have their well deserved sleep.
I think Josh is about ready to go to sleep.
No, Chris and we
Bob?
need to talk about the my desktop tomorrow or next week.
Okay. We'll see what we can do about that. All right. Well, all y'all get some sleep and some rest. I hope Sunday proves to be a productive day for all your endeavors. And until next time, I will see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed another broadcast night of Last Man Standing. And at this time, all three of us are here. So we'll declare that there is no winner whatsoever except y'all, the people watching. And good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Welcome to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Here you will find a variety of shows which cover a wide array of interests, from comics to creativity, mysteries to mixology, and science to history. There's something for all interests at the Rising Tide. There are shows every day of the week, daytime and nighttime. So take a look at our schedule and see what appeals to you. If you're interested in comics, both independent and mainstream, check out Comics Chaos and Sass, or Comic Book Spectrum, or from the desk of a small press publisher. If you want encouragement and advice on furthering your creativity, we have Creative as Hail and Tidbits and Scribbles. If you enjoy mysteries and conspiracy theories, we have the Truth Mongers. If you're into interviews with up-and-coming talents, there is a TED Talks made just for you, as well as clever title pending. If you're into classic combat sports, there's the Historical Fencing Guild. And if you want to know what it's like to hang out with convention regulars, we have Stupid O'Clock and Last Man Standing. If you want witty repartee and fast-paced fun, check out Nevermind the Furthermore. If the science of rocketry and spaceflight is your thing, we have Armchair Rocket Science. But that's by no means all the Rising Tide has to offer. New shows will be added as they develop, so stay tuned. All Rising Tide shows share a spirit of mutual cooperation, under the philosophy that a rising tide raises all ships. Lightly ruled over by our comic ringmaster of mayhem, Brian K. Morris, we support and promote each other's works. What helps one of us to greater success helps all of us achieve even more successes. So look at the schedule, check out the shows, and we're sure that you will want to come back for more.